Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast where we take animation seriously. I'm Dylan Hysen and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Yo.
Delaney and I will be discussing episode 3 or whatever of
or
Voltron.
whatever.
Hard to tell what the episode numbers are. This one is entitled Return of the Gladiator 3 or 5, depending on how you want to look at it. We are going through every episode of Voltron, but yeah, Return of the Gladiator, this podcast is on, and Voltron Legendary Defender, check us out, overlyanimated.com. You know, if you're probably, I'm shortening the intro and stuff, because you're probably listening to the first two if you're listening to this one. Okay, but yeah, overlyanimated.com, and I'm trying to get the Voltron specific feed up, but iTunes is not approved yet. Okay, so, Delaney, spoilers for this episode and for all of seriously spoilers, like
spoilers, guys, spoilers.
Okay, go away. Okay, Return of the Gladiator. Delaney, what's your reaction?
Oh my god, they got us, Dylan. They got us. Like, oh my god, we got played so hard.
I mean, kind of, but yeah.
This episode's great. Like, the fight was awesome, and it was kind of like a video game boss. Oh, he does this, guys.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. The fight was great. We'll talk about the fight, but first,
the
pieces were there. We knew that something was up with the girlfriend thing. Right? And I was very sure they were going to do something because I kept reading the interviews with the two of them, and every interview they get asked, why didn't you make any of the 5 a girl? And they're like, oh, you know,
shrug.
Yeah, it was kind of those answers.
Okay. So, also, we literally said, oh yeah, like, you know, Pidge is this, and this, and that's why we love Pidge. We cracked the code.
I guess we don't get a super sympathetic male character, but that's okay. We get Pidge as a girl, which is even better.
And we should have, like, I guess we were just like, oh, they're twins or whatever. The brothers just look, they got us so good. Oh man, that was so perfectly laid. Yeah, the pieces were all there. We could have figured it out, but we didn't. Because
I never try to figure things like this out. I like letting them happen. But yeah, we have Katie. Pidge, what do you think of her being named Katie?
I like Pidge. Like,
you like Pidge better than Katie?
I like Pidge better than Katie. Like, not because Katie's a horrible name, not to insult anyone named Katie, but like, to go from Pidge to Katie. Also, now I need to know why the heck she was like, I'm gonna go by Pidge. Like, where does that come from? Katie, how did you come up with that?
She's tiny, and then she knew that in shows like this, the tiny one's called something like, like Pipsqueak. Except Pipsqueak's the big guy in Avatar. But yeah, so I'm pretty surprised that they did this trope.
Like, is it a good surprise or is it a bad surprise?
I mean, we're glad that we got another female character somehow, right? Generally, I find this trope problematic. I think they executed it very well. We'll see the backstory.
God, we talked about the voice actress, Dylan. Jeez.
Right, we said Bex Taylor Claus is why they don't usually have 21-year-old female voices.
Everything was right.
And in one interview, Joaquin and Lauren were like, that seems, one of the interviews asked, that's a weird cast choice. And they're like, yeah, she was pretty perfect for this role. And I didn't, they're like,
so dumb.
Gotta go back, read all the interviews, but I remember all these answers now from Joaquin and Lauren. It's pretty great. So the history, I tried to quickly look up the name of this trope on TV Tropes, and I couldn't find it immediately, but this is something that you see in animes a ton. This is the secretly a different gender.
They even did it on Assassin's Creed.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Which that one was super obvious, and you figured out in 2 seconds. But
I most recently saw this in the latest Phoenix Wright game, or that's a spoiler, but one of the characters, like, obviously this trope is an entire spoiler, but yeah, it's like that was secretly a I don't even remember which way the gender went, but secretly a girl. Yes. Yeah, it was the same thing. Okay. I found it very problematic in that game because it's like that's like a you're in court game, and it's like presenting evidence, like, Your Honor, he's secretly a girl, and that changes all this stuff. And the general problem with this trope is, like, is it transphobic, right?
Right.
So usually, yes, I find it transphobic.
Yes.
I don't think it's inherently, I guess, right? Because you could just be pretending to be someone else. I think that's somewhat valid.
Right.
But in general, I do not like this trope. So that's why, and I also find this trope pretty regressive. So I didn't think that this is something that they would do.
Right.
You know, But that being said, I don't think it's necessarily inherently that. It's usually just what's associated with it. Like the assumption of it's either A or B, gender A or B, right? But like,
Right.
and it's like, yeah, right, like that type of thing. It's like problematic in that regard. So, the answer is, I think, in terms of is this problematic, is like we're going to see how they handle it. I assume they will handle it very well.
Well,
Like,
my thing is, there's also like, what is the reasoning behind it? Because it's like, I feel like there's like three options here, and it can be all three of the options, or I guess it's two options. Like, did we know there were we actually did we see female? Yeah, there are. You can be a girl and go to the garrison.
yeah, there
So
were
so
females there,
then
yeah.
that's not the reason. So then maybe like
The reason that they did this is because they wanted to. This is their solution to their main problem, which is we want
right,
not to have five guys main
right.
characters, but we also want to maintain the original show. So this is why they did that trope. But like, what's the reason in universe? Right, we don't have an
Well,
answer.
what's Katie's reasoning? Like, I mean, Katie could identify as a boy. That's fine. We need to know that, or
Right.
like
My read on it is that they're not saying that she's that that would be transphobic if depending on the pronoun. My read
right,
is that it's the girl pretending to be a boy trope, and there's nothing involving
right,
like a trans identity in here, right?
right.
It's just pretending to be someone else, or
But then
like
it's like we've been presented with like for me, I would have bought it if you had to be a boy to go to Garrison, but
right. That would have made sense.
that's not true.
So yeah, what's her reasoning? We're assuming that because Shiro, is like Katie, it's your secret safe. Like this is not how the show's going to handle a trans
right,
character. So this is just Katie, like, who is probably a cis female, like pretending to
right,
be Pidge. So I think that's how this is being handled. We're going based off of that assumption here.
right.
So yeah,
I
I
do
have
hope
no.
we find out more though, because it's like
We will, as yeah, we
because honestly, because if you don't have to be like if I mean we saw women at the Garrison,
hmm
then
I don't
that's
know.
not the reason.
I don't know why.
So,
I guess it involves her family and so
but
that was her in the picture with
right,
her
that's her
brother, right?
right?
So it's interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the reason. It's hard to speculate. I do think this is a very
Yes,
effective twist based off of how they wrote
yes,
it and how Joaquin and Lauren have been handling this with the press. I find this very amusing. But
it's pretty
um,
good.
yeah, it's like it's I like how it functions here.
Now
That being said,
Now I'm tiny. Now I'm a little concerned though about like the Shiro.
oh, now you think
Still, I'm concerned.
Shiro Katie's happening?
Yeah, like I'm just
I think
now.
I mean, it might. I don't. It could have happened either way, right?
I
Like,
don't necessarily mean like well, now it's a little like
what do you mean?
well, one like we don't know how long like now it's established she's younger than her brother. Like that picture seems to like
Oh, so you
she's
think she's younger than they think she is? I don't
yeah,
know. That could be. I don't.
and I really don't want to go that anime route. That
I don't think we should worry about that. I think we have bigger concerns right now, which is
well,
the how if they handle the trope effectively.
yeah, well that and but then also I'm fine. It could be maybe she has a crush on. She could at some point. It could be like Janora and something like that. Crush on older character, kind of adorable kind of stuff. But like,
Again, we don't know any sort. Like, I
right.
assume that she's not like 12. Like, I
No,
think that's
but
probably not true.
she is younger than
We also don't know how old Shiro is and like how much older he is than them. So I don't think this is a. Let's table this until we know more. But the more relevant concern, I think, is like this is the people who generally the history of this trope is this is done by people who are like, oh my god, what a twist, boy is a
right,
girl. Like it's people who don't really understand gender identity type stuff.
right.
So we'll see how it's handled. I do think the problematic part is not necessarily inherently, but it is within the execution and how other characters react and stuff like this. I have faith that they're going to handle this correctly. So
And I can't see like I mean obviously Shiro's great, but like I understand like wanting to keep it a secret, but then it's also like I don't feel like it's going to be played out in this horrific way where like the other characters find out. They're just going to be like, oh, okay.
who do you think would be the most? Which character has the biggest chance of being the biggest sexist of the four?
I mean, we talked about Lance, but he's not. I mean, none of them are really like we haven't aside from Lance hitting on Allura, we haven't really had any sort of like.
Yeah, I don't think it's any. I think it's none of them. I think it may be. We don't know how Keith would react to something like that, but we don't know much about Keith, right? So
Also, this makes like Pidge like yelling at Allura even funnier now. Like this is even funnier.
what was Pidge yelling at Allura?
Well, she's like, "You're not my princess." Like that's
Oh.
even better. Like that just makes it better.
How long until you start shipping Katie and Allura?
I'm not. I can't. I'm not.
How long? You started
not
already?
No. I'm not gonna ship them.
We'll see about that. We'll see about
What?
that. Well, mark it down. 5:35 on Friday. Delaney said she's not going to ship them.
I'm not. I'm not going to.
We'll see if how long it takes for that to change. That's why.
Well, they've had like they really haven't had like Pidge has mainly interacted with Shuru. Like they don't really have any interactions anyway.
I guess yeah, that's true. We need to see other two character dynamics on the show. Okay. Anyway, other stuff going on. Well, I think in large part us talking about this depends on what happens next episode.
Right. Like it's just how we're gonna handle it moving forward.
The trope does feel very in place in an old feeling show. This is a very old feeling trope, and yeah, but at the very least, it was very effective, especially based on our discussions, right?
Right. Like, and I do have faith that like it's not gonna. I don't think we're gonna get really annoyed with it or like offended by it, because like my thing is like, yeah, it's solves the problem. Instead of just having like all guys, but then it's like especially given that we've seen that women can serve at the garrison that.
Right. So what the question is like, why? So we'll see that. We don't have enough information. I was expecting like somewhat, this is the twist that I was referencing something would happen. So the question, I did not know this would happen, by the way. Luckily, the Wikipedia article is not updated to say, people update the Wikipedia. It's like Pidge/Katie. Like you don't need to do that. You can just not put that on the article. So luckily I had not refreshed it and saw that yet. But, I do wonder, like, this is the big twist for the show. So the question is, like, is that it? Two female characters? Like,
is that it?
Right? So I guess it's like, okay, maybe that's it. I don't necessarily see any other huge defining twists, but we will see. At the very least, let's talk about this episode, because I do think this is clearly the best episode we've had.
Yes.
But kind of by a lot. I think this is kind of in another tier above any of the other ones we've seen.
Definitely.
The fight, I do think, other than the ending, the highlight is the fight. Like I said, the 2 podcasts ago, you should be expecting good fights from this, and this was a pretty incredible fight sequence. Yeah, between Voltron and the Beast. What stood out to me from this fight, like the visuals, but really like the sound design. Listening to this with headphones was really good. They definitely conveyed the like Titans, like the heaviness of the two. I don't even know if that thing's a robot or what it is.
We have 2 giant robots fighting, and it sounded like
and it very much sounded like it. So I thought that was excellent. I don't know who's the sound designer on the show. I need to check that, but it was really great, and just everything about this fight was really great. It's potentially the best sequence of the show so far.
Like definitely, and it's really like we've seen them kind of fight, but this is like the first full like yes, bring me more fights. If they all look like this, I am okay with this.
Yeah, I agree. It was very good.
And I'm not even disappointed that like she made that giant monster and then literally was like, I can make a bigger one. He was like, no, calm down. Like it's fine, like because the fight was so great.
Yeah.
And we got the explanation of like the champion and like again, like we could have figured out Gladiator. We weren't thinking about it. Could have figured it out. Like I'm just enjoying like they're tropes, but they're executed so well.
Yeah, it's tropey doesn't necessarily mean bad if it's executed well. I do think the Shiro's past stuff was executed very well too. Another highlight of the episode. We're wondering like why did they give him this robot arm? The answer so he can fight in their sadistic gladiator arena.
Right.
So that's good. Like answering the questions you have is good. And I thought everything with the flashbacks with Shiro was great. And I guess he has memory back now.
Well, he gets it in pieces, so which I was kind of expecting to get annoying after a while. Like, I suddenly remembered. No, it somehow works. Like it just, I guess because Shiro's not obnoxious. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Shiro continues to be not obnoxious. I agree, and just the pieces of his memory with the fight for this against that thing was good. I'm not the biggest fan of video game flaws and things, but this is basically a video game, so it's fine. It works here. It's
fine.
It's fine. I also think just like the design of that robot thing. I think it's not a robot; it's a thing. But
Yeah.
it was. I guess it's like a thing that's been enhanced by Witch Lady, right? So
Right. Yeah.
he was like really cool. I liked the orb. I thought the orb was awesome. I think it was
Also,
uh
I knew he was gonna kick it. I knew that was gonna happen, but I didn't expect him to like
not.
miss it. That was
Did
good.
he miss or did it go through? That
I
was my
think no, it looked to me that he like completely missed it.
yeah. Like that was great. And then the climax of the fight with Keith pulling out the sword. I was a little bit wondering where the sword was, but
Right.
yeah, and it was incredible. Like they stylistically did it like in I don't know how to describe it, like lines, shading, like kind of
Right.
comic book style, and it was really cool.
It was awesome.
That sequence was excellent, and just
I
that
think it might have been a callback to the old show, and
I don't
like
know.
I think it might have been. Who
Maybe,
knows?
but yeah, it was that whole thing visually stunning. Sound was
Super good.
incredible. Just really, really good fight sequence. Like that's what I hope the rest of the show is on the level of. Yeah, Shiro's past stuff was good. Um, what do you think of the prisoners from the ship, like the alien designs? What this reminds me of how the show's treating aliens is a
The
lot
Spirit
of
World.
no, well that, but actually a lot. Basically, this entire show reminds me of Star Wars. But
Yes.
the first Star Wars movie when they go into
The
the bar,
cantina.
yeah, and there's just a bunch of random alien designs. Like that's what these people remind me of. It's like, oh, let's just design 10 aliens, and we'll have different aliens sitting there.
I'm
Uh,
cool with that.
yeah, the whole show definitely is Star Wars influenced, and like the original too, I assume, right? But
Yep. Yep.
I don't know the timeline on the original Japanese verse, but whatever. But yeah, what do you think of those guys, the prisoners? They didn't do that much.
No, they were cool. Like the main one who kept talking, like his design is really interesting. I don't know how I feel about it, but like he's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. They could have done a different one talking. I don't know if he was,
Yeah.
yeah. um, I like how they're talking about him as like the champion and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, all pretty good. The village, the other plot is the native. What's the planet called?
It's Eris, and
Eris.
they're like Eurasians or something like that.
Eurasians. What do you think of the
Eurasians.
Eurasian people?
They're adorable. Like I want to give one a hug.
Are you waiting for the plush?
Yes,
What do
but
you think of
they're cute
Keith hugging that one and it be having like deep male voice?
about it. It's pretty great.
Uh, yeah, I think everything with them was pretty good. I guess it definitely felt fillery, especially
The apology dance, and
yeah,
then we must throw ourselves on the wait, no, stop.
yeah. Allura interacting up that was really good. It's a weird episode. Like it has
Yeah, it's weird.
that feels really fillery, and then it has like the best fight sequence of the
Yeah,
show so far, and then it has a giant reveal. Like interesting
everything
episode.
going on.
Yeah.
Also, it was funny they thought Allura was, the lion goddess. I mean, I guess that's
mean,
basically what she is.
I think that is what they're referring to. Like she is the one
Yeah,
who like yeah. I think that's
she's
maybe. I mean,
basically.
I guess I don't. I couldn't tell if that was like a character they made, and she like they thought it was her, or if like that was just passed down by them from her 10,000 years ago, and that actually was her. It kind of could have been either.
It could have been both. Also, it might have just been like since the castle, like I mean, the castle had just been there for 10,000
Mm,
years, and like they knew about the lions clearly. So
yeah.
it's probably just a story they came up with like around. And that is how that's how mythologies work. Like explain the unexplained. Here's story,
Here's
and then
story.
it
Yeah.
becomes fact.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought everything with them was pretty good. Then at the end, the Sendak coming back from, and he's like, the biggest weakness, caring about other life forms. Like,
God.
okay, 80s show.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think they established that he's not um Gora whatever they are.
Oh, is
He's
he not? Oh,
no
because they said
because
like he adopted him or whatever. Yeah.
because he was like, "Can you trust him?" And he's like, "I trained him. He
Yeah.
serves the blah blah blah."
Okay,
Now
so
it's
that's
like, oh,
why the giant mouse guy didn't look like the rest of them.
yeah,
Understood. So I'm glad we
got it.
established that. Yeah, they did. I did. That is good. That is probably exactly why they put that dialogue in.
Yes.
They have been pretty good so far at paying off questions. Like they've kind of answered everything we've asked so
Yeah,
far.
pretty
Yeah.
like yeah. No, we made a lot of comments last time, and it's like, oh look, they addressed them. Good
They did,
job.
yeah. It's good. Solid job by Tim Hedrick and his team so far on the show. So Oh, and another thing of note I thought earlier in the episode, Pidge being super annoying with the family stuff. I was like, okay, we had sympathetic Pidge, now Pidge being super annoying.
Right.
Female Pidge being annoying about that is better. but
Yes.
but still, like, I do think it's I think we need to pay off the family stuff with her soon,
Yes. Like super soon, because it's gonna get annoying real quick.
because yeah, just seeing on like that being her only motivation and seeing we dominate her character and have unsympathetic behavior because of it is not
Right.
a good look for the audience. Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Need more.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. Anything else from the episode that you remember you want to hit on?
Don't. I mean, I just me flipping out about Pidge, but I just thought it was a really solid episode.
Yeah, for sure. Oh,
Like, what complaints?
oh, another thing I want to say, I'm already done with the transformation sequence. It's okay.
I knew it. I knew it as soon
I'm
as it
already
happened. I was
done.
like, Dylan's done.
It's like 30 seconds long. I might actually just start skipping it on Netflix.
Is it
like,
is it worse than Transformers? Is it worse?
Transformers is like shorter, but there's more of them every episode from Miraculous Ladybug we're referencing. They are correct though. They are doing different angles. Like it is not this exact same.
They did make it a little like this time it was like noticeably different.
Yeah.
I'm
But
gonna
I
get
still
tired of it because like it takes a while. But
yeah.
no, this is what we're watching. It's Voltron. We're gonna see this every episode.
If I stop commenting on it, that means I started skipping it while watching. So that's what you could look out for that. I don't know if I remember anything else dominated by the reveal at the end.
Hunk can cook.
Oh yeah, that's a good point with that. The hunk. I like the hunk line. You just got me hooked on this goo, and now we're going with the. That's very much a Bolin line. Almost everything
Yes.
Hunk says is
He's
just a Bolin
Bolin.
line.
That's
Yeah.
who he is.
Yeah, I think Bolin also cooked, right?
I don't know if it's. I don't know. I don't necessarily know if it was explored as much as like clear. Like I don't think Bolin ever actually like made food. He just eats food all the time. So
Yeah, that's true. I don't remember. Well, maybe in their apartment one. Anyway,
maybe
maybe I don't remember. Yeah. So, what about our Keith Lance shipping watch? I think there's something with them in the beginning of the episode. I don't remember though.
Oh.
They were just like talking or something. Like that was it.
Well, and then they were like, their arms kept crossing while they were eating.
Oh.
Like, ooh.
Ooh.
I was waiting for them to feed each other. Like.
Wow.
I ship it. Like they're going for it. Like it's real.
Wow, you're such a straight fangirl right now.
Oh, it hurts a little bit.
With your male.
I gotta ship something. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's nothing else, right? So
there's nothing else. What else do I have, Dylan?
Okay, so we'll track. We still don't have a ship name for them. Like, listen to our last podcast if you want to contribute to the ship name discussion. Anyway, I think that's it for whatever episode this was. Return of the Gladiator. The person editing the Wikipedia article threw me off because they numbered the first ones 1 to 3, and the Netflix numbering is different. But yeah, that was number 3.
Okay. Noted.
So we're just gonna go with that anyway. We'll be back soon to talk about the fall of the Castle of Lions. Okay, that's a spoiler title. So, wonder what's gonna happen.
We're gonna have to start like this is gonna be like Korra book 2, and we'll be like, okay, worst episode title goes to
The Fall of the Castle of Lions. Yeah, that's pretty funky.
That's
okay. We'll talk about that one next. Overlyanimated.com. Look out for the other episodes. Probably not gonna be posting these on social media individually, so check out the website or the iTunes feed. Last comments, Delaney?
just good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.